Good morning, world. This is Edward Bevilacqua here in Las Vegas. Today is Friday, November 9th, 2018. I'm here in Las Vegas. You might be in Reno at our class there, or in CCDC or Casa Grande, etc. So this is the short weekly recap of week 2 inside our skull-sized kingdom, because you should be having a head weekly summary of what we're doing. There we go. So the background noise just ended. So this week was inside our skull-sized kingdom. What does that mean? Well, that means inside our brain, and the skull-sized kingdom part, or the kingdom part, has to do with our perception is that everything revolves around us. And to a large extent, that's absolutely true, because if you feel it's hot or cold, it's relative to you. If you need to get from here to there, you need to know where you're starting from. So everything, the world, in a sense, does revolve around us, and that's our kingdom. And skull size is because it's basically the size of our skull. And so our goal for this week was to understand how our brain works so that I can answer 2 questions. Number 1 is, who am I? And number 2 is, why do I behave the way I do? And then we watched 3 TED Talks, Sebastian Song, Simon Sinek, and reticular activation system, a few TED Talks on that. 3 TED Talks regarding that. So Waiteba would be the one to focus on for the quiz or the survey today. Or you can talk about both, Mark Dawes and Waiteba. So when we focus on how does our brain work, we look at 3 functions of our brain. And these functions could involve many parts of the brain or not. But so the first function is, what is my brain made of? It's made of cells. Those cells that we focus on are called neurons. And we have about 86 billion neurons in our skull, typical person, according to Susanna Herculano Hosel. And these neurons contain our lived past, our anticipated future, our imagination, our ability to simulate, and other things. All of those things are stored in our neurons, and our neurons work together. There's an expression, neurons that fire together, wire together. And so the combination of neurons releasing neurotransmitters, or chemicals and electrical signals, is how our brain functions. And we know this because if we have a traumatic brain injury, our memories, our ability to perform is affected, or could be affected. So we need to know, how does, just what's the structure of our brain? Neurons. And that's called the connectome, the combination of all of the neurons and the connections on those is the connectome. And it's 86 billion times 10,000 connections, so it's a big number. The second part is neurotransmitters. And neurotransmitters are the things that enable us to feel. If we didn't have neurotransmitters released in our brain, we couldn't feel. If we have too many neurotransmitters released in our brain, we feel too much. We could be too anxious, too aggressive, too whatever, depending upon the neurotransmitter. So the second part was neurotransmitters, and the third part was the reticular activation system, which is a bunch of neurons located in our brainstem that act as a filter and let in those things that are important to us. And typically those are our beliefs, the things that we believe, or that, let's say there's a belief attached to the things that get through. So for example, I have been conditioned and trained to believe my name is important. So anytime my ears can sense my name being called, well, let's say it's not my ears, it comes in from my ears into my brainstem, and anytime my reticular activation system hears my name mentioned, it will bring it to my awareness. So I could be having a conversation on this side of the room, and somebody mentions my name on that side of the room. If the sound waves can get into my ears, with sufficient volume, then my reticular activation system will bring that to my awareness. So this happens all day long. So you might buy a car or buy something and you notice other people have that, or buy clothing and you notice other people have that as well. So, so that's what the reticular activation system does. Now, the way these three things work, you can picture the circle that we have that kind of looks like a peace sign, but it's really three things. So at the bottom on the outside of the circle, we have our beliefs. And our beliefs flow into the circle, into the triangle, the 1/3 part called the reticular activation system. And our beliefs then flow into the upper right third, the neurotransmitter part. And if a belief has a correlation to a neurotransmitter, that neurotransmitter will be released and it will make us feel something. So for example, if I say we're going to have some pecan pie or apple pie or dessert, we have a belief. If I have a belief that that is something good, that's something I want, that will get through my reticular activation system and release some chemicals, typically probably dopamine, which will make me want it, make me feel good at the thought of having the opportunity to eat some pecan pie or pumpkin pie, whatever it is. And then our feelings will affect our behavior. So the neurotransmitters cause us to feel. Our feelings then affect our behavior. And our behavior affects our outcome. And so on our circle, on the outside, we have on the bottom, reticular activation system. Up over on the right side, say at about 2 o'clock, we say we have behavior. And then over on the left side at around 10 o'clock, we have the word outcome. So our beliefs affect our behavior affects the outcome. And then the outcome, in turn, tends to support our beliefs or change our beliefs. The outcome affects our beliefs. So most often we have beliefs and the outcome reinforces our beliefs. Sometimes the outcome changes our belief. But those three things go around the circle counterclockwise. So beliefs, behavior, outcome, beliefs, behavior, outcome. As managers, as people that want power, we start with the outcome first. What's the outcome I want? Then what do I need your behavior to be? And what do I need you to feel in order to get that behavior? What do I need? What neurotransmitter do I need released to get you to feel that way? And then finally, what do you need to believe? What belief that you have do I need to tap into to cause you a neurotransmitter to be released to cause you to feel a certain way so your behavior changes in the outcome? So it's pretty simple when you have it on a diagram. And this is a thing we need to know to the level of Neil Martin. It needs to be in our unconscious. We just need to know that our beliefs affect our feelings affect our behavior affects our outcome. And if we want power, we need to go the other way. We need to start with what's the outcome I want and work our way back to what is the belief I need to tap into to get that behavior that I want. So this week, that's what our focus is on, is the connectome, neurotransmitters, and reticular activation system, and how those three things affect our beliefs, our behavior, and the outcome. Next week, we're going to be focused on outside our skull-sized kingdom, so we'll have more videos on that. Have a good day. Good luck on your progress, and don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Also, please fill out the survey form on how the instructors did this week. You certainly can do it on the school. You can do it on Latasha or Nicole or George or Marie and always, of course, me. Thank you very much for being there.